Hi everyone, thanks for joining in. I'm excited to have Lisa. Well, Lisa Darcy is the name of the book, but I know also you write under, is it Lisa
Heidke,
Heike as well? Yep.
which is my I don't know, real name.
Yeah. But are all your books under Lisa Darcy or you've got a bit of a
No,
mixture?
no, my first my first six published novels with Allen and Unwin in
Mm,
Australia were published under Lisa Heidke.
okay. Yep. No,
Yeah,
that's good. Thanks for
yeah.
explaining that. I was wondering that. So,
Yeah.
just a quick introduction about Lisa. Lisa's passion is for writing fiction, typical stories about women in their 30s and 40s navigating friendships, careers, romance, untimely triumphs. So ultimately triumphing over adversity, with several previous published novels under her alter ego. Lisa's seventh novel, Lily's Little Flower Shop, was published by Bloodhood Books UK in May 2021. Yep, and you've got a copy there. What a beautiful cover that one is.
Beautiful.
And it's since been published in France and Italy. Are the
Yes,
covers different in those countries?
yes, they are. I can swing back and get them in my.
Yeah, no, that's
You keep
I
talking, but yeah.
I always find it interesting to see what the different covers look like
Oh, okay.
in
All
different
right. Give me
countries. Some of them are
2 seconds.
I'll
They're right
keep
behind.
reading out your intro while you're getting up. An updated edition of Claudia's Big Break has been retitled My Big Greek Holiday and was published by Bloodhound Books UK in July 2021. And her ninth novel, Should You Keep a Secret, which I've got a copy, my copy as well of Should You Keep a
I've got
Secret?
it. Yeah.
Yep. Was also published by Bloodhound Books UK in March 2022. A
Yes.
teacher of creative writing, Lisa also presents workshops and has been on panels at RWA conferences, GenreCon, Sydney Writers Festival, and many regional writers' festivals. At the inaugural Berry Writers Festival in October
Very.
2022, Lisa will be conducting a creative writing workshop and will also be speaking on several panels. So thanks, Lisa, for joining us.
That's
And
okay.
thanks for going to get those other books for us. Do you want to
Okay.
show them
So,
to us?
so Jackie, you were talking about Lily, Lily's Little Flower Shop, which is a sea change, basically a 30-something woman climbing the corporate ladder gets looked over once too many times for a promotion,
Mm,
and she just goes, okay, whatever. On the same day as her long-term partner comes home and says he's been offered a promotion in Singapore.
oh,
So
okay.
she just says, I'm not going to do any of that. And she actually decides to, because she has teenage affiliations and her aunt lives on the south coast, she decides to open a flower shop
Oh,
on the south coast of New South Wales.
mm,
And it's just about the trials and tribulations of transitioning from, a city corporate life, I guess,
mm.
to not even suburban, but to a small regional coastal town. So, for whatever reason, well, obviously my writing and my humour, it's done really, really well, both here and in the UK.
Mm,
And it has been translated. This is the French edition.
okay, yeah. So
La
quite
Adorable.
quite a different cover,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So that's the French version, and this
Mm.
is the Italian version.
Oh yes.
So
Yeah, I
really
like that.
cute.
Yeah, I like that cover's very cute, isn't it?
But I tell you what, Jackie, I'd like to. So I did French. I didn't do Italian, but I did
Mm.
French in high school. I know, bonjour. But I would love someone to just go to translate it and go, yeah. It's either really, really, yeah, this is what they're saying over,
Yeah.
or it's like, did she really have a pig called Herbert?
Have you heard any feedback from those other countries?
Yeah, I have. I've heard it's been amazing. So the feedback for me has mainly come back on Instagram.
Mm,
So because anyone can follow you on Instagram and tag you, I have look, I can't count how many tags I've got with the French and Italian versions of Lily.
mm,
They've just, and the great thing is that then you can just look at it and go, oh, translate for me.
yeah, to
be
see
saying,
what comments. Yeah.
Adorable Lily was not adorable at all. But with Translate, I can see it. And then I can go back and obviously thank them. And it's been incredibly fulfilling seeing, other, especially in Europe, read Lily's story. It's been great.
And is that your only book that has been published in other languages?
Yep.
Yeah,
so far.
yeah. And I'm interested to know as well, like I said, I read Should You Keep a Secret, and I really enjoyed reading it, your first book of yours that I've read. The other books, the Greek Holiday and the Lily's Flower Shop, they look like they could be different genres, are they? Or are they the...
It depends. What
I'm
do you
only
think
taking it from the cover, though. I'm only
I
taking
think-
it from looking at the cover. So
I think this is more now. This was billed as psychological suspense.
yeah, that's what I would say.
So would
yeah,
you,
but a bit of a
not
light heart. I mean, not as
Yeah.
intense as some psychological suspense you might
Look,
read.
There's no murder in this.
Yeah,
However, viewers, some characters do want to murder other characters.
Yeah.
In this book. Don't necessarily.
and there's
succeed.
quite a lot of twists and turns, and
Yeah.
this one.
Yeah, I call this like whether it's domestic suspense or domestic drama. Yeah, yeah. Now, My Big Greek Holiday is about three girlfriends going at a crossroads in their lives and wanting to go and just having a holiday. But what happens on that 2-week holiday, cliche but true, changes their lives forever because they all discover something about themselves.
So it has a few twists and has some twists and turns in it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. And there is a bit of a drama and a a private investigator involved. So there is some drama in that. Whereas Lily, I'd say, is really a sea change rom-com. So yeah, I guess.
So a little bit of variety in your genres. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But look, I guess, Jackie, I sort of like to write what I'd like to read. Having said that, I'm reading, for whatever reason, I'm reading a lot more crime, psychological thrillers, mysteries at the moment. And sort of, I'm reading these, great, whether they're by Australian or, UK writers. And I'm just going, wow, I would love to do this, but I feel I don't have the knowledge. Like, a lot of them are written by either psychologists or lawyers or previously, PIs or, and they have the, what is it, the gravitas or the, the nuance and the credibility, I guess.
Because they've got the background of being, yeah.
Whereas I'm a mother, got 3 kids.
You haven't done any private investigating yourself.
Have a cat, yeah.
And we've got quite a lot of people watching, so
Mhm.
just want to remind people watching, if you've got any questions for Lisa,
Oh,
please,
please ask.
yeah, please type them in comments and I can read them out. I've got a few
Yep.
comments coming through from some people. Rainey said she
Yep.
loved My Big Greek Holiday, and she's also really looking forward to reading Lily's Little Flower Shop.
Oh,
And
thanks, Rainey.
I should have mentioned before as well, you have been in our group before. We had you as author for the day. Some people might remember you from that. And Rainey has said, should you keep a secret? She's loved the storyline of that since she first saw you in our author for the day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Mary says the flower shop looks really good.
It is.
Wendy says she likes the sound of the flower shop, and a Greek holiday sounds good too. And she wonders if you have an interest in flowers and floristry.
Ah, interesting. So, what inspired this? And Mary's asking the question.
Wendy.
Yeah, Wendy. So, Wendy, I was in a bit of a lull, and I was visiting one of my closest friends up at Wentworth Falls in the Blue Mountains, where
Nice.
she owned a flower shop, coincidentally called the Little Flower Shop. And so she said, "Oh, Lisa, this would be an amazing story. So many people come in telling me their stories, whether they're having affairs, jumping ahead of myself, but flowers are there for every occasion. Births, deaths, marriages, funerals, girlfriends to say I'm sorry, girlfriends to say I love you, mistresses to say I love you, I can't marry you, but here are some flowers." And so it really was Louise who just said, I really think there's a story in this. And so, yeah, I would sit in her flower shop at Wentworth Falls and it was a little flower shop. It was tiny, tiny. But I would, eavesdrop on conversations and amazing. So that's what I'm hoping to do next. Is actually write a sequel to this.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah. So with Lily's Little Flower Shop, even though the inspiration was at Wentworth Falls in the Blue Mountains, because I live on the coast, I just thought it would be easier for me to write this as a coastal story. And so that's what I've done. I've transplanted the story down here.
And Mary wonders what inspires your writing. Is that a bit of a tricky?
It's just, I just want to have fun. I really love creating new characters. I love the process of creating the characters. And you know what? It's amazing having 80,000 words, starting at word 1 and going, oh my God, this is my fantasy. I can create a whole world. And I do write reality, like I don't write fantasy or sci-fi. But I can create a whole world here, starting at word 1, with all these amazing characters. And also, those characters can say and do things that I would never have, I could never say or do in my real life, whether it's comebacks or following their dreams or just, dressing in outrageous clothing. Whatever it is, I can just create these amazing characters as long as they're believable. As long as they're, it's within the realms of possibility that this would actually happen.
And Rainey's very excited to hear that there's a sequel to Lily's Flower Shop.
Well, I haven't written it yet.
Or there's going to be a pending sequel.
Yeah.
And you did answer this for one of your books, but Heather says, where do you get your ideas from? Maybe if you want to tell us for Should You Keep a Secret, where you got that idea from.
Yes, maybe I should. So what happened was, for this particular novel, firstly, there was I was living in Sydney at the time,
Mm.
on the North Shore, and there was this tiny article, in my local newspaper that said that there'd been a raid on a swingers group in the suburb just one up from me.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not that swingers parties are illegal.
Mm.
It's just that the neighbours had got so sick of the coupes in the cul-de-sac that
Oh.
they'd contacted the police and said they thought there were illegal drugs being there. So
Oh, okay.
that was
Yeah.
the whole purpose. And so the police raided them. And I was reading it going, oh my God, in the next suburb, what would you do if you went to this swingers party and saw the headmaster there, or your local butcher, or just your local beautician, or your next door neighbour? What would you say? So I thought that was a really interesting, and it was a tiny little seed. And then a couple of months later, I was out with a group of girlfriends having New Year's drinks, and this was late January, because of course we could never get together because school holidays. So we got together when the kids went back to school, and there's always this one friend of ours in the group who says, okay, what's your New Year's mantra? Whether that's, happiness, or I live my truest, or authenticity, or, whatever. And we all sigh and go, oh my God. So with that, I combine the idea of the New Year's drinks and the mantra with the accidentally stumbling upon a swingers party, and that's how I came up with that. So really, in the first 6 pages, all that happens. The girls have the drinks, they get invited to a party.
It was a little bit more than just a swingers party, though, I think, wasn't it?
Yes, there was rudeness happening. And they see the husband of one of their best friends there, and it's like, what do we do? Should you keep the secret? Do we, and one of the girlfriends says, yeah, we don't want to get involved. Don't tell him. Don't tell her that we've seen the husband. And the other one says, no, we should, because, the guy's an asshole and he should be caught out.
And if you were in a similar situation of a secret for keeping us, what do you think you would do? Would you tell your friend?
Look, I've been asked that. I don't know, because do you shoot the messenger? That's the whole problem with these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's like, I saw your husband at a coffee shop with this woman. The woman could have been a real estate agent. At a swingers party, I think it's,
a little bit
when
different.
he's being dragged around by wearing a nappy. I think that's a little bit different. I don't know. I think I come back to, would I want to be told? And I think I would want to be told if, yes, definitely, there was no doubt in anyone's mind that that's what it was. But I wouldn't want to be, and again, you don't want to be the subject of schoolyard gossip or office gossip.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Wendy wonders, what area did you work in prior to writing books?
So I was a features writer for at the time Packer ACP magazine.
So you were in the writing industry.
Practical parenting and bride to be. So it was generally always about breasts, mastitis for the practical parenting, and making the most of your assets for bride to be. But yeah, writing.
Yeah.
And I studied journalism at university.
Okay. And are you a full-time author now, or you still do some other writing?
I'm a full-time slacker, actually. So I want to write, but yeah, like I've retired my
from your
other
other,
jobs, but
yeah.
I've got an overgrown garden, unfed animals, untidy house, but yeah, I'd like to be writing. I do. I also work as an editorial. As an editor for NAC Literary Agency. So I also edit manuscripts, which
Okay.
actually, to be honest, I really enjoy. So I really enjoy mentoring and editing manuscripts and looking at the whole picture of, structure and, scenes and
And
I
you do
do really.
workshops as well, don't you?
Yep.
So is that more
So my
for
next workshop.
new
Sorry?
writers? Is that more for new writers?
Look, I want to say yes, but I've had a lot of emerging authors who, published one novel, come in and do my courses. So the next one I'm doing is at the Berry Writers Festival in late October. And that's about, just, do you want to write a novel, or you want to write a novel? And, it's talking about, point of view, tense, structure, beginnings, middles, endings, tense. What do you need, on that first page to grab the people? How do you keep them reading? It's all about, cliffhangers and how to keep people turning the page, which I also really enjoy. I really enjoy the teaching side of writing as well.
Yeah, no,
because the reason I enjoy the teaching and also editing manuscripts is because when I read someone else's writing or I'm teaching class, there's always something that inspires me with my own writing.
Yeah.
I should listen to myself. I should practice what I preach. This is actually good information. Maybe I should take that on board.
Well, and I'm interested to know what you like reading, if maybe there's something you want to recommend to us, and maybe even something that that might be coming up that we need to look out for.
All right. I do have this as a... So I'm going to show you a few books that I've read very recently, because I do read a lot. So these are just in the last couple of weeks. Love Jane Fallon. So have really enjoyed her Just Got Real. That was a lot of fun. Dervla.
Oh, yes,
her new book, The Murder Rule. That was great. Really, just, again, I whizzed through that. And today I just finished reading The Wrong Woman.
Okay, yeah. I haven't read
Have you
that
read
one.
that?
No, but I've read most of his others. I do have that book, but I haven't read it yet. And I've loved his others. So looking forward to reading
again,
that.
Jackie, just whizzed through it.
Yeah.
And you'll see, apart from probably Jane's, they're the murder mysteries and crimes, but fast-paced action involving whether it's a detective or just generally crime or law. Very, very good. Really enjoyed them. And so next on my list, obviously, I've got this. So I'm really hoping to start this in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I've got that as well, but I haven't read it yet.
Yeah. So I've read most of Taylor Jenkins Reid's backlist. Again, just I'm in awe of these authors who can just keep writing and just, keep coming out with these amazing storylines that I just go, I'd love to do that. friend of mine, Kate Forsyth's The Crimson Thread.
Okay, I haven't heard that one.
So World War II in Crete, really, it's it's there. It's historical fiction, so not a lot of what I read, but I'm really looking forward to immersing myself in that and the history of Crete and World War II. And Michael Robotham is always a favourite.
Yeah.
So, and again, it's been sitting in my shelves for at least a couple of months, and just going, yes, I will get to you. And you know what it's like when you keep getting books, whether you buy them or download them or they're from the library, and you just go, yes, I promise. I will get to you. I will get to you. So so there's a bit.
So many great books, and it's just finding
and so
time.
many amazing Australian authors.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, just incredible. And I feel really bad that it's like, and I do try to post my reviews on Instagram and Facebook, and you just go, there's so many more Aussie authors out there, and I feel guilty that you can't do them all, but you just can't. I couldn't, even if I was reading a book a day, and I try to read like 2 books a week, as well as writing and feeding my cat and shopping for groceries.
Yeah, there's not enough time for all the books that we have to read.
So but I do want to say, if you do have an audience out there who want to write, I would say that I think this is a great book. Save the Cat Writes a Novel, just for looking for ideas. This is definitely one that they should read. On Writing with Stephen King.
Yeah. Okay.
Seriously, I read this and I read this at least once a year, and he really is a genius. So I don't read Stephen King's novels because horror.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah, I'm like that.
I absolutely adore his craft. Absolutely adore it. And 10 Things About Writing, which is fun. And it's really like, and these are all books that you can, pick up and have a read for 10 minutes and go, okay, all right, take a bit away. And even if you don't write, they're all interesting books for you to understand more about how novels are put together, how dialogue's written, how point of view is constructed. It's interesting.
Yeah. Well, no, thanks for sharing them. That's great. Belinda wonders if you've had a favourite character to write.
Interesting question. Definitely Lily from Lily's Little Flower Shop. But I'd also say Lucy. That's my first book. Lucy Springer. Yeah, I would have, maybe it's because it's my first novel. So Lucy was an out-of-work actress whose marriage is falling apart. She's going through a renovation. She's got an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old, children. And I loved her feistiness. She was failing in so many areas of her life. But yeah, either the 2 L's, Lucy or Lily, definitely.
Yeah. And Mary says, do you read your reviews?
Yes.
The good and the bad ones?
Yeah. Look, in the main, they're mostly pretty good. I get some I guess oh, they're superficial, or do these women do anything more than, buy flowers? And going, well, it's about a flower shop. They're buying flowers. Yeah, I do read the reviews. I try not to take them to heart because in the main I get far more positive reviews than the negative ones. So, yeah.
Yeah. And is there any feedback or reviews from anyone that you would like to share with us? Anything interesting or anything that touched you or?
Yes, actually. So as I said to you, prior to writing fiction, I wrote for magazines, and then I left the magazines mainly because I had a child, and then I had 3 children under 5, and I went, I just need to, write. So, long story short, I thought I really wanted to write a novel, and I thought, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll write a Mills and Boon. I'll write a romance because that must be so easy. And so I looked at all the internet, the how-tos, and 60,000 words of chapters, 5,000 words a piece, so 12 chapters, they meet, they kiss, black moment, and anyway, I finished the 60,000 words, sent it off, and it came, and it got rejected, obviously, soundly rejected across the world, Toronto, London, New York. And but one of the best rejection letters said something along the lines of, fantastic first line, all downhill from there.
Oh, really?
But I learned a lot from that, because what I'd done was not followed my heart. I didn't read those stories. So, it was arrogant and just completely ignorant that I thought that I could write something like that when I didn't read when I didn't read the genre that I was trying to, think that I could get published in. So when I actually took a step back and said, actually, why don't you write what you like to read?
Yeah.
So when I actually started to write authors that I'd like to read in the conversational tone that they wrote in, it all sort of made sense and pretty much came together after that.
Yeah. And what about research? I know you said that you spent some time in a flower shop. Have you been on a Greek holiday yourself?
Yeah. That was an easy research. So yeah, the idea for the Santorini one did come about when I was on holiday in Santorini. And in fact, since then, wherever you are, my big Greek holiday, I've actually thought, you know what, you should do been on holidays in maybe my big Tasmanian holiday wouldn't go down as well. But I love Tasmania, or Hawaii, or all of those things that you could actually center a 2-week holiday around. It could be anywhere. My big Tahitian holiday, Fijian holiday, wherever. So yeah, I the idea came about so that when I was actually Jackie, thinking about the places in Santorini, and I was talking about Nick, the Greek jeweler, I actually had met Nick, the Greek jeweler. Like I had been to those places, the donkeys going up and down the hill, the cruises out to to the islands, all of that sort of thing. I want to reassure people, I never went to swingers parties. However, I did research swingers and sex fetishes online. And at one stage, you know, because you're frantically searching all this stuff, and then one website takes you to another website,
Yeah.
to another website. And so, you know, there was part of me going, are the police actually going to knock on my door? And, you know, flower shop, fairly innocuous, Greek holidays,
Yeah.
fairly innocuous. But
Yeah.
then when it comes to this, and also I'm looking at, you know, how much cocaine do you have to have before you overdose and die? And, you know,
I
just
can
crazy.
imagine you would have had a lot of, you know, how little ads pop up
Yeah.
from your search history.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah.
imagine you
And
would
then
have
you're just
had
going,
some
oh,
interesting
mm,
things.
yeah.
Well,
But
thanks so much for chatting with me. It's been great talking to
it's
you
been lovely.
and great to
Lovely,
have you
lovely,
back
lovely.
again.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And certainly if anyone has any more questions after tonight's over, they can, you know, message me on Instagram or Facebook, or I'm on Twitter as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you. And thanks for the people who joined in, and we had some great questions. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's great.
Bye, everyone.
Cheers.